glad that's over. Who the hell puts babies inside a plastic bag?
Who's your supplier? Who's your supplier? Who's your supplier? Who's your supplier? Dispatch, we have it in a bag of a white substance. It's 6mm in diameter.
Developed as a more conventional successor to the H&K G3 battle rifle after the cancellation of the G11, the H&K G36 was introduced in 1997 as the Bundeswehr's brand new standard assault rifle for newly unified Germany. Utilizing numerous novel features for the time, including an all-polymer body and free-floating barrel, the G36 and its numerous variants have been adopted by over 45 countries around the world for various military and law enforcement organizations. In airsoft, the G36 is probably the third most popular airsoft assault rifle behind ARs and AKs, but has few GBBRs in its lineup, with only WE and VFC having made GBB versions. Hi, I'm Andrew, and in this week's video, we're sticking with VFC, but skipping the H&K timeline ahead by about 40 years to review the new Umarex G36C version 2 GBB made by VFC, a replica of the compact variant of the well-known H&K G36 series of assault rifles. This particular one is VFC's newest version of their V2 G36s, and comes with a few new features that we'll get into. Now, I personally have a soft spot for Airsoft G36s, as one of my first airsoft guns was an AEG G36. But enough nostalgia, let's just get into it. Now, the first thing you'll feel when picking this rifle up is the exact opposite of last week's HK53, in that instead of the heavy weight of the rifle's steel externals, this G36 feels incredibly light thanks to its full polymer body, excellent for carrying and using it for extended periods of time. But don't mistake the weight for fragility. This rifle is rock solid, with VFC's typical excellent quality craftsmanship, and is crammed full of license markings and details. So let's do what we always do, muzzle to butt. And at the front we have here an open pronged flash hider, typically seen on the shorter G36 variants, that is attached very tightly via 14mm CCW thread. The removable polymer handguard here is very comfortably made, with a nice big sort of lip at the front over here containing two forward sling mounts to prevent your forefinger from getting accidentally blown off by the nearby muzzle. Now, do note that while our younger viewers might mistake these vents over here for M-lock slots, they are not. But the handguard does have screw mounts over here for accessory rails sold separately on the 3, 6, and 9 o'clock positions. On the top over here, we have a really big polymer monolithic top rail that spans the length of the receiver, with a hooded front sight post here and a rear adjustable aperture sight over here, with two range settings that, to be honest, don't really have much of a difference in aperture between them. So you're probably just going to use optics with this anyway. Just underneath the rail, we have the ambidextrous reciprocating charging handle, so keep your fingers clear when firing. It has a pretty nifty ambidextrous design where you can simply pull the forward hinge either left or right, depending on your preference, to pull the bolt back. Now, if you keep the bolt back by engaging the bolt lock, you'll reveal the sliding hop up on the top over here. Slide the hop up back for greater hop and forward for less hop. And it has this really sort of nice tactile clicks, so you know that it'll stay consistent. Over to the back, and we have the G36C's skeletonized folding stock. It's got a really nice rubberized butt pad and a conveniently located ambidextrous rear sling mount down here. Now push this button on the left-hand side of the rifle to fold it on the right side, and it'll stay folded by locking into place on this rifle's brass deflector. To unfold it, just yank it out, lock it straight, and you're good to go. Now one handy thing to note about the stock is the presence of these little holes on the bottom. These are used to temporarily store the rifle's push pins when disassembled, so you don't lose them, which is pretty smart design actually. Underneath we have a fully ambidextrous change lever, going from safe, semi, 2-round burst in this version, and then full auto. Personally, I really sort of question the utility of the 2-round burst function, but practically we have noticed some shooting inconsistencies on the burst mode, with the second round always coming out just far slower than the first, which is something you should be aware of. Now beneath that is the nice big chunky trigger. The trigger pull on this model is actually quite heavy, but there's a very discernible wall and just a tiny bit of mush afterwards before the release of the really solid action. It's excellent for precision shooting that you'll definitely see later. The reset as well is also very solid and yet again aids with aimed shooting, which is vital because the recoil on this airsoft gun is pretty strong. Another new feature on this model is the larger ambidextrous bolt release just in front of the trigger. On previous models of both the real and Airsoft G36, this was a small button that wasn't very usable, especially when wearing gloves, and most shooters simply release the bolt by re-engaging the charging handle. Over here, you simply have to push up with your trigger finger to engage the bolt hold, and once you're done, push down on it to release it. Very convenient. The Umarex G36C also comes with a 30-round translucent polymer proprietary magazine that slots right in over here and is released with the ambidextrous magazine release lever on the bottom of the rifle. It's an excellent looking mag, though the fake dummy rounds over here could use some better detail. However, the best feature of the G36's magazine is the ability to seamlessly lock them together with these locks over here, which some players might take a little bit too far. So, the Umarex G36C by VFC shows yet again VFC's classic outstanding design and attention to detail. But how does it shoot? Let's head over to the range and find out.
Okay, and now for the Chrono. We are using green gas and 0.2 gram BBs.
And now for the action test. Here I am yet again in Landing Zone's amazing 30-meter range, firing at a target with 0.3 gram BBs. I'm actually quite keen to do this because the polymer body means that this is likely to have far greater recoil than the HK53 of last week's video. So let's get to it. All right, range is hot, safety's off. Let's see. Wow, that recoil. Wow. Okay, that thing kicks like a mule. This really does feel fantastic to shoot. I'd actually go and reckon this is one of the hardest recoiling airsoft rifles we've ever actually tested, at least in my time on this channel. Really feels good. Ergonomically, the G36C, fantastic, completely ambidextrous in almost every single way possible, but the recoil, man, that feels fantastic. You'd also hear from the pings that this is also really, really accurate. So I'm really excited to go in and just show you how well I did, because this rifle was firing nice and straight. Overall, I think it's a fantastic platform. The G36 platform has always been really good, especially for newer gamers coming into play, because it has really, really comfortable ergonomics and is very easy to use. Furthermore, on the ergonomic front, this little bolt release really, really does help. Older models of the G36 required you to rack the bolt again and release it. It wasn't like too hard, but it just added that little bit of extra time and had the tendency of forcing you to go off target in order to go and rack the bolt in order to get another round chambered. This one, you just pull this little lever down and it's done for you. So big props to that. The 2-round burst, I mean, it's okay. I don't actually find a 2-round burst to be particularly useful. Then again, full auto, I've never found it to be that useful in a GBB anyway. But it's good to have just in case you just feel the need to hit somebody twice, I suppose. So yeah, anyway, let's go take the results, shall we? All right, no way. Oh wow, check this out, check this out. Usually we use steel targets that have like just small little holes at the back so the BBs can pass effortlessly through. But those targets are currently being used for something else. So instead, this BB over here has reflected back and has gotten stuck inside the paper. I've never actually seen that in my time filming here. So anyway, let's go and count them. 1, 2, 3, big 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then I think that's a 10 over there. So that's overall quite good. I think these two can be counted as flyers because they're really far off the others. So I'm just going to draw. That is really impressive for a GBB at 30 meters. Yeah, grouping less than the palm of my hand. That is very, very impressive. Something we'd expect from VFC. Now, as I mentioned earlier on, the recoil is substantial, so do take your time when shooting at targets from afar. Just take it easy, don't slap the trigger too much, otherwise it genuinely is going to go all over the place because of that lighter plastic body. Overall, I am really, really impressed. That is fantastic. It's a joy to shoot. Feels great. Ergonomics are great as usual. It's H&K, why not? Love it. That is very impressive. So yeah, I can say I really, really do like this. Aside from that, I think we should head back to the studio and wrap this up. And we're back. At this point, it shouldn't be surprising that this Umarex G36C is yet again another outstanding offer from VFC that has the performance to match. In terms of looks and function, the Umarex G36C perfectly captures the look and feel of the real rifle right down to the smallest detail. And the polymer body makes it light and easy to use with, oh my god, an incredible kick every time you shoot it. This is genuinely one of the most satisfying airsoft guns we've ever shot on this channel so far. Accuracy too is no slouch, and this G36C ranks as one of the most accurate GBBs we've shot, which is even more impressive considering it's only firing out of an 8-inch barrel. Overall, we give the Umarex G36C by VFC an outstanding 5 out of 5 stars. I could feign surprise, but VFC has gotten so many 5 stars on this channel, it really is becoming quite routine. Maybe we should start a VFC only star system just to change it up. Or just make future reviews just 5 seconds long with me saying, it's amazing, it's VFC, just go buy it, you know, who knows? So let's hand it over to you guys. What are your thoughts on the Umarex G36C by VFC?
Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, and for these cool products and many more, visit us at www.redwolfairsoft.com.
This is Andrew
and Duke, out.